Rest of the day was pretty much the same thing. Puke fest. Got back to the house. My mother basically locked herself in the bathroom, and yeah, it was rough. Worse than what is usually was. She cracked the door for a moment. She told me to call Dad and remind him that he really needs to take me to practice. But there was no need to call him because he walked into the house a few minutes later. She okay? Dad tossed his keys on the table. I was standing in the hallway, listening through the door, listening to my mom shuck whatever was left in her out of her into the toilet. I nodded my face. He came to the bathroom door, tried to open it, but it was locked. Chrissy, you all right? Now I know where I got my questioning skills from. Patty's always going on me about this. It's like, dude, I don't hear her in there. No, Gordon, I'm not all right. Sorry, I didn't. I was thinking our little girl is giving me the blues today, but I'll be okay. Just make sure Lou gets to practice, please. I know, I already planned that out. Puke sounds. Ugh. Dad turned to me, his face squished up just like mine. All day? He asked me. All day, I replied. Wow. Okay, we'll get ready for practice, he said, heading toward the kitchen. In my room, I went through my usual routine. How I get my head right before battle. First, stare in the mirror. White. My hair yellowish brown. Squeeze the sunscreen out of the bottle and start rubbing it all over. Still looking. Repeat my mantra. I'm the man. I'm the guy. The kid. The one. The only. The Lou. Lucky Lou. Lou the lightning bolt. I'm the man. The guy. The kid. Over and over again. Rubbing. Staring at myself. Searching for a crack. You look like a cotton ball dipped in white paint. The man. Like milk. Like somebody's supposed to pour all over the cereal. The guy. Like grits with no butter. The kid. Like sugar. Like the Lou. Looky Lou. Lou. You almost ready? My dad's voice came through the door. Snapped me out of it. I quickly slipped on my tight practice jersey. Got a bag. Threw my track shoes in it. An extra pair of contacts. I grabbed my gold chains from my desk one by one, sticking them over my head, a metal hold on my neck. After chain number 3, I reached for my earring, the lonely diamond. I took another look in the mirror, positioned my finger to push the pin through my ear hole, and stopped. Stared at me again, and it hit me. I always say my mantra as a way to get gassed up, to get ready to face whatever. Practice, races, Calvins, I always try to say it. It's how I get ready for battle, which means maybe it was kind of my version of armor. Not like big and chunky, or a shield that was shaped like a heart or nothing like that. It wasn't gray or sharp. Maybe for me, it was a kind of armor. It was made out of gold, diamond, made out of fly. Maybe it was passed down to me by my dad to somehow protect me from whatever got him from the wolves. Like, what if I pulled a sword out of the stone, carry on tradition, right? If I came out because I'm the man, the guy, the kid, the Lou, looky Lou, but what if I didn't want the sword or the sword? Does that mean I don't get to be King Arthur and just got to settle for Arthur? But, 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 but what if I'm Arthur the lightning bolt? What he needs armor anyway. He's a lightning bolt. Whatever. I'm whatever. And I know I was really trying to say to me in the mirror or to you right now, and definitely didn't know what the weird people were talking about in place Suite 106. And for real, I was tripping, but only because for some reason, I knew I had to put the diamond back down in the dresser, and one by one, I took every chain back off. In the hallway, my father was back to the bathroom door, waiting for my mother to crack it so he could give her a hot cup of tea. Ready? He asked me again. Yeah. Okay, give me a second. Have a good practice, Lou. My mother eked through the door. Her voice sounded tired. She grabbed the tea, and my dad jetted down the end of the hallway to their room. A few seconds later, he came charging back to the hall, stopping at the bathroom again to tell my mother he was taking her car. Then, meeting me by the living room by the front living room by the front door. His hand was something I'd never seen, at least not in real life, something I'd only dreamed about. A gold medal. Here it is, Dad said, and it was heavy. Gold. Gold. In perfect condition. Not a mark or a tear on it, or a loose thread in the ribbon. Not a scrape or scratch in metal. It was, and I don't never use this word, beautiful. Take good care of it, I said. Yeah, my father replied, looking at the door. The light from the outside pouring light into the living room. But now it's time to put it back where it belongs. I held it the whole way. I held it like it was mine, like it was something I could have one day. And I couldn't help but think about what Coach had to go through to get it, and what it must have felt like to have it snatched away. I held it like it was a person, like it was my little sister, like it was a heart. My dad and I ain't talked. He just drove and I just held it, staring at it, trying to see myself on that shine. When I pulled into the park, my father killed the engine, froze. Can I get a minute? He asked, rubbing his hands together. Coach, right there, pointed out in the track where the coach was talking to Chris. I know, but I hesitated. Ask, don't ask. I asked. You scared of him? You scared to talk to him? My father looked at me, his eyes ain't never seen. Eyes that weren't cool, or slick, or lovey-dovey, like he looking at my mom. Eyes that said what Ghost's eyes said when they were reading the letter from his dad, or what Patty's eyes said when she told us about that crazy car accident her aunt and sister were in, or like Sonny's eyes whenever he talked about his mother passing. Scared to talk, he balked. The same way I did when Coach asked if I was scared to jump the hurdles. Yes, straight up. And, and, and embarrassed, stuttered. Struggled to get it out. Cleared his throat. Looked at me. I pushed a knot as big as a grapefruit down my throat. As sour, too. And even though I understood where he was coming from and I felt for him, I put the medal in his hand and got out of the car. And before I closed the door, I leaned down and said, You can fix it. He nodded. He sat there for a while. I wasn't sure what he was doing, and really didn't, I honestly ain't really care. Wasn't none of my business. I had to focus on practice hurdles to jump, a team to co-captain. But there wasn't much co-captain to do because it was Thursday, which meant it was long run Thursday, which meant everyone was going to leave the track, go for a run in the neighborhood. I have to admit, it was a worse day of practice for all of us, except the distance run. Sonny used to run it like it was warm-up lap, light and easy, but way faster than everyone else. Now that he ain't running no more, Lynn always comes in first. And I guess since Chris is back, he'll be right behind him. Me and Ghost came last, usually because usually, but that's only because we don't run long races. It's stamina work. Coach just wants us to always have another breath, to always have enough leg, to be conditioned to win. Usually, coach hops in his cab and basically chases us through the city, driving us just slow enough to see us off, but fast enough to make us feel like he's going to clip our heels if we start slacking. He would even hit the horn to scare us. But because coach knew I needed his help with hurdles, he let the cab stay parked. There's no motivation mobile today, which means you all will have to motivate yourself, coach, to the team. I know you all can do that because I know you all want to win. Am I right? Everyone nodded. Am I right? Everyone, yeah, yelled. After stretching, Whit, the leader of the long run, took off. Everybody falling in line behind her as they left the track, ran across the field, through the parking lot, past my mom's car with my dad in it, out of sight. I didn't go. Neither did Sonny. He was he just did what he always did, spun around, swung his disc, letting out strange shrieks, weird sounds no human should be able to make. And as coach set up hurdles, I took my contacts out, put them in their case, a pod for each lens, put them back in my bag, and then jogged back onto the track. That's when I heard the car door slam. I looked across the field. There was my dad walking towards us. Who's that? Coach asked. Put a hand up to his brow to block the sun. My dad, I go there. Thought about what was going to happen next. Would Coach yell at him? Would they fight? I couldn't imagine Coach fighting nobody. I couldn't imagine my dad fighting nobody either. But if they had to pick between the two, the Goose is probably taking the turtle. So I hope it didn't happen. I kept looking, and the closer he got, the more disappeared. It was like they're coming walking water. Otis, my father called out. Goose, Coach responded. What's going on? I couldn't really see, but I knew Coach approached my dad because I could hear his feet and his voice move toward the fence. And as they got closer to Claire, I started walking backward away from him. I need to talk to you for a second, Dad said, as they continued to move toward the track. They talked, and I walked. They talked and walked. Backed further and further, their voices became quieter and quieter, and their bodies becoming clearer and clearer. Off the track, back and back, into the field, back and back. A few steps from Sonny, I could see my father holding the medal, ribbon dangling from his hand. I could see Coach reaching, take it, hold it up so that he could see it for his baby boy. Lou, Sonny tried to get my attention. Hold on, hold on. I tried to shush him. Don't be mean, because I needed to watch and make sure that two men ain't start trying to tear each other's heads off. Is that your father? Yeah, cool. But Lou, Sonny said again. I turned to see what was up with his body. Nothing but a fog. You in the way. You don't want me to send you to planet Discus with this discus. You should probably move. Just give me one more minute, man. Please? I begged. Watched my dad and Coach go back and forth. They were a lot of hand moving, a lot of arm waving, a lot of pointing. Coach put his hand on my father's shoulder. My father wiped his eyes. They nodded. And then